Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang in early to mid-May? It is Taurus season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always intriguing. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang in early to mid-May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. What do we got? Let's get this underway. Cool. There's a complexity to this card. And I don't dislike whenever I see it. I just feel like it looks very simple on the surface, but the more you dig, the more complex it seems to get. And I mean, that's Scorpio in a nutshell, right? Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this woman. It looks like she's looking in a mirror. There's multiple mirrors, multiple reflections. We have all these little items on the desk, and notice it actually looks like she's holding a mask in front of her face. We have these little Russian babushka layer dolls, like the nesting dolls, where it's when you open one, there's another and another. So to me, this does speak of complexity, where it's like, hey, every time I peel back a layer, there's another. So for some Scorpios, you might be dealing with certain situations that might seem very cut and dry from the outside looking in. But when you're in it, it's like, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. There might be more going on here. Now, I did pick up something last week where some Scorpios might be digging for information regarding certain things. This card does fit that bill. I don't necessarily feel like it's bad. I just feel like there's a complexity to it. Now, this can also represent when you have a lot on your mind, right? Where it's like one thought leads to another. It's like a chain reaction of thoughts. So just try your best. I know it's easier said than done not to get caught in these thought loops, right? Like, because this card can represent those things. But overall, it's just a little bit of complexity. And if there's any zodiac sign that could deal with complexity, it's Scorpio gang, right? So we're going to let that card chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, and we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. What do we have in early to mid-May? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So we did have Tower energy showing up, and as I mentioned last week, the Tower card doesn't really concern me much in a Scorpio reading because it's a Scorpio power card, but the reading was titled The Shocking Talk. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad one. There could have been a whole bunch of different things, topics, conversations popping up where it's like, I wasn't expecting to talk about this, wasn't expecting that conversation to go that way. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, where there might be a little volatility regarding communication or just random stuff popping in. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going here. 3 cards for Scorpio gang. What's happening in early to mid-May? What do we got? Okay. Wow. Good start. Maybe it's in the water, literally and figuratively, because all the water signs this week have been getting some really nice cards, at least to start. I'm going to try my best to stay neutral and not get too overexcited just because we start with the 6 of Wands. But, I mean, that's a pretty damn good place to start. Okay, 7 of Wands. Yeah, a little work. It's not a lazy energy, that's for sure. Okay, we'll see what's up. We'll definitely see what's up. Let's get one more. Lots of fire. And this is a very common thing in my Scorpio readings, where there's always tons of fire energy. And I always say, if there's any zodiac sign equipped to deal with fire energy, it's Scorpio. Okay, cool. 10 of Cups. So it's like we have a beautiful win-victory sandwich starting to form here, my friends. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like it's a very important part of any reading because it frames the energy and how it flows and how stuff could be working. And it's fire dominant with a little bit of water. Now, I'm not super concerned because, as I mentioned, if there's any sign that could deal with fire, it's Scorpio. But the realm of fire represents action. So, whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions you want to take, it's a very motivated, determined type of energy. It's action oriented. So, I think it can be very good. Now, fire can also represent vitality, energy levels. So, hey, maybe some of you are starting to feel like you're on the rise. Maybe some of you are feeling tired. That could be the case too. There could be certain things that are a little exhausting to you. Um, the only downside I usually see when it comes to fire is the volatility, right? Because a lot of times the energy could look great and it's going in a very specific direction, but there's an explosiveness to it where either something happens really quickly, and with what I've been seeing in the past couple of weeks, I wouldn't doubt that we'd have some fire here as well. So there's an explosive quality. But then here on the back end, we have water, which is Scorpio's power element. That's Scorpio's comfort zone. Water is the realm of emotion, matters of the heart, the internal self. Water is also highly spiritual. It can speak about your gut intuition, um, energetic sensitivity. I link it to creativity. So, imagination, creative juices flowing. There's always a good energy around water. But the main thing is partnerships and things that we're emotionally invested in, whether it's people or situations. Water to me is something I actually care about, not something I say I care about, something I actually do. The downside to water is the depth, right? Like it's an energy that can be overwhelming and can pull you under sometimes because, as you know, as with most things, water is always waxing and waning, in and out, just like the tides. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a banger, my friends. We have the Six of Wands in position number one. I absolutely love it. And we see this individual, it looks like they're marching in a parade, right? Holding up those laurels, surrounded by people, getting all that recognition. And to me, the Six of Wands is a card of complete and total victory. So I love it. That's why I got excited when it first popped out because I'm like, oh, okay, this could be big. This card can also represent appreciation, wanting or feeling appreciated, where people like give you kudos or recognize you for a job well done. So this is great for getting attention as well. Sometimes this card can show up if someone's keeping an eye on you or if you're getting someone's attention. That could be a big thing with this. This is great for the limelight and being in the public eye as well. So I like it. Like it's a big victory energy straight across the board. Now, you know me, I always love to give both sides of the coin. So the challenging aspect of the Six of Wands could be the ego, right? Because there is a difference between confidence and being egotistical, right? There's a thin line between cockiness and confidence. And this Six of Wands does walk that line, right? Like this is an energy that definitely has its chest puffed out. And again, there's nothing wrong with being confident. But at the same time, if you have dealings with anybody that is a bit egotistical or egomaniacal, you might want to watch out when the Six of Wands is there because this could be an energy that thinks it does no wrong. We're not going to turn a positive into a negative, though. We move into the middle. We have the nice Seven of Wands. Now, the good thing, the good aspect of this, it represents prototypical scorpionic energy to me because it is very determined. When I see this card, the person on the wall, fending people off, it's like when I decide something, I follow through. When I plan something, I follow through with it. So there's a ton of determination. Can't stop, won't stop, no quit. Love it for that. This card can also have a me against the world type of attitude. Um, in its most difficult sense, sometimes it can represent feeling cornered, feeling trapped, feeling like you're between a rock and a hard place, feeling like it's one thing after another after another. That's why I was saying for some Scorpios, you might have a bit of an exhausted feeling. It's like, can we not make this harder? Like, can't we just let this flow? So you might have a very low tolerance for people making things more complex than they need to be when this card is here. It can be combative. That's another thing I will say about the Seven of Wands. So it's something we do want to watch out for. But the combination, like the Six of Wands with the Seven of Wands, it's an energy that's not afraid to work for what it wants. It's an energy that is it's no slouch. It's not lazy. It's not shy. Like it's like if I want something, I will work towards it, which is beautiful. Now moving to the back end, we have one of the best cards in the whole deck, right? I think most readers would agree. We have the Ten of Cups right here. Beautiful, complete wish fulfillment type of energy, wins, victory. So again, when we go from the Six of Wands to the Ten of Cups in the main part of the spread, you don't get much better than this. Now, other things that this card can represent, it can represent the home, the household, the living situation, family, and the people that we care about, like our tightest circle. And from what I know about many Scorpios, we like to keep a tight circle of people around us. They could be the 10 of cups sometimes. So there's some really great stuff. Now, the only downside to the 10 of cups to me is that it literally has 10 cups, right? So there could be some very heavy emotions to be dealt with, right? So I'm not saying that you're emotionally sinking or anything like that. There's just an emotional intensity, and I want to see if it comes through as a warning. Because many times, things or people that we care most about can actually affect us the most in any direction, right? So I want to dive deeper in all this, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Scorpio gang? And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Wands. Let's see what's happening. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio gang, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see what that Six of Wands has. How's the Six of Wands here for Scorpio? Cool. Yeah, powerful, powerful. I saw this for you like a couple of weeks ago. It's the exact same type of energy. We have judgment, fast, powerful, transformative. It's an energy that comes in like a rocket. So I think a couple weeks ago, I think the reading was titled like an explosive win or something. This is very, very similar to that, where it's like something just like boom, it pops in. So could this be like a surprising winner victory, an unexpected winner victory? I would not doubt it, right? Because the energy to me, whether you've worked for it or whether you haven't, whether you've manifested it, whether you haven't, it comes in regardless. And that's another theme I've been seeing with the other water signs as well, where it's like, yeah, there's certain things I manifest and they happen, but then there's other things where it doesn't matter if you manifest it or not. It's coming in one way or another, which I think is great. Now, judgment to me is a scorpionic card. It's Plutonian energy. It's change based. It represents metamorphosis. It's powerful. This is the Archangel Gabriel, the messenger of the creator, right? So when I see him blowing that trumpet and the dead rising, it's like, boom, there's like a forceful type of energy. So to me, yes, it's a winner victory that pops in out of nowhere. Now, I do know a lot of Scorpios are dealing with a variety of different things, some with work, some with family, some with money, you name it, some with, romance. But this to me just seems to be an energy where it just pops in and it kind of catches me off guard, which is very hard to do with a Scorpio. So I like this energy. I think it's good. Could it be a change? Potentially. I want to see how the energy flows as we move further, because this can represent a change of sorts. But we're just going to keep going. I like it. Right? I think we'll keep it simple and claim it. There's a great energy coming towards you, right? Let's not overcomplicate it like we had here in the beginning. There's something good. Awesome. I'll take it. Let's keep going. So why is the Seven of Wands here? Why is that Seven of Wands here for Scorpio? Yeah, Queen of Cups, cool. So it might feel too easy, which that might sound like the wildest thing to say. Um, and here's another thing. Like, I know the work ethic of most Scorpios, right? Where you feel like, no, I have to work for it. I have to put in effort. Like, if I care about it, I'm going to put energy into it, right? That's big Scorpio energy right there. And that's how this Seven of Wands with another one of your power cards, the Queen of Cups in the upright, doesn't matter male, female, or anything in between. That is a water sign power card. But it's like, yeah, but it feels too easy. Like, I feel like I need to do something. So for some Scorpios, you might feel like you need to repay someone, or you might need to put in a more effort or balance the scales, right? Like, how sometimes there's people they feel uncomfortable receiving gifts. That's how this feels to me. But it's like, yeah, but can I do something in return? Like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, because this energy just pops in. It's like a good thing. And it's like, all right, well, what can I do for you then? It's so unique and so hyper specific. Again, only take it if it hits. But if we are to broaden the net, the Queen of Cups, aside from being a Scorpio power card, is content. It's an energy that's, emotionally nice and balanced. And normally, when I see her in the upright underneath the Seven of Wands, this could also represent an energy that's trying to keep itself busy. So, one, some Scorpios might feel like you need to pay somebody back in some sort of way, or where it's like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You do this, I'll do that. Eye for an eye. Not in a bad way, but that's how it feels. It's like, you do this, then I do that. It's reciprocal type of energy. But for another portion, Seven of Wands with this, it's like I need something to work towards. I need to keep myself busy. So again, if you've been in a place right now where you're feeling stuck, you feel like certain things aren't working for you, when I see the Seven of Wands with the Queen of Cups, it's like, no, I have something to focus all this energy into now. Doing something to keep myself busy. Very important for a driven sign like Scorpio. We're going to keep going. I know that was hyper specific. You just take it however it hits. I mean, let's keep going. I'm sure I'll talk to some of you. You know, I do personal readings for so many of our fellow Scorpio gangs. We'll talk about this. I'm sure it'll make sense eventually for me. But let's go in on that Ten of Cups. Let's see what that has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Scorpio. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune in the upright. I, what is there to say? What is there to say about this reading? And aside from this little thing in the middle, and I said a very similar thing about the Pisces reading this week, this has got to be up there in like my top two, maybe best Scorpio reading in my history of being on YouTube. And I've been here for years, thousands of readings. Ten of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, very similar to this energy. And it is like a chain effect where it's like, we got the good thing. Yeah, we got this energy that wants to pay it back, but this is expansion, my friends. Now is an energetically fruitful time. If you are into prayer, if you are into manifestation and mindfulness, and if you are a believer that we are all creator beings and that we can attract things and build things and create things, now is the time to strike. The soil is fertile. Um, Aim high. That's another thing I've been saying in the other ones too. Don't aim low with your manifestations and prayers. Aim high as you can. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, aside from being Jupiter energy, aside from being a luck charm, some of you really might want to play the lottery. I'm just being honest. Like, not every Scorpio is going to hit, but try it. Like, take a risk, take a gamble. Because, like, when I see the Ten of Cups and the Wheel, it's like, oh, I gambled and it paid off. Or I took a leap and it paid off. It's just tremendous, tremendous energy. Probably one of the best readings I've done for Scorpio, period. And I'm not saying that lightly. So this is absolutely beautiful stuff, my good friends. The only thing with the wheel is that it moves very quick. It's very sudden. It's very powerful. So just like this surprising, unexpected win here in the front, the same thing happens in the back, where it's like this win comes in. No, but I want to balance the scales, and then boom, it's like more gets piled on. So it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's claimable. Like even if it doesn't apply to whatever your situation is right now, you could be dealing with something totally different. Claim this. Claim this reading because it's one of the best I've done. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. I'm super excited about this reading, honestly. In the box, position number one, we have the Six of Wands, Judgment in the upright, boom. The energy just pops in. That's surprising, unexpected winner victory. Simple blanket term. It kind of changes the game. The only little speed bump, potentially, is this energy in the center, the Seven of Wands with the Queen of Cups, where it's like, I feel bad taking this. That was too easy. Should it be that easy? Let me pay you back, eye for an eye. Like there's this reciprocation that wants to be had. But aside from that, for some Scorpios, especially if you're in a place where it is feeling dark or you are feeling a little stuck, there's like just something I need to focus all this energy into. There's something I need to be working on. There's something I need to be working towards, whatever that might be. On the back end, we finish it off, cherry on top, Ten of Cups, Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Some of you should play the lottery if you can. I mean, this energy just feels like a risk paying off or just a sudden stroke of good luck. It's just beautiful all around. I love it. And as far as like manifesting, creating, and praying, the soil is fertile. Aim high for what it is you're wanting to attract in. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. That's beautiful, my friends. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this going here. What do we got for Scorpio gang, please? In the shadows, what do we got? Thank you. Two of Pentacles, nice harmonious balance. Now, there is something we could talk about with the shadow side, because listen, I know this is a Scorpio reading. We got to look at the other side, right? In the positive sense, this Two of Pentacles is a very balanced, harmonious type of card. So that does bode well, especially with what we've been seeing. And remember what I was saying about reciprocating? Same thing with this Two of Pentacles. It's like, let's make this even, let's balance this out. But the downside to the Two of Pentacles is that sometimes it could be an energy that's juggling a little too much. And if you remember in the very early stages with that Oracle card, where it's like, there's a lot on my plate, there's a lot on my plate, there's a lot on my mind, it's exhausting. Sometimes the Two of Pentacles can feel that way as well, where it's like, I just feel out of sorts, or I'm juggling too much, or there's too much going on. So there could be certain things that Spirit wants you to pare down a little bit, or certain things that you might want to simplify, certain things you might want to take off your plate for the time being when this card shows up, because it can throw itself out of whack. So that's just something to watch out. If you're dealing with any situations you deem unfair, that's worth keeping a very close eye on as well. But Scorpio, that's what I got for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom-made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the Posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.